Coming up on OU Nightly, we're just hours away from a potential government shutdown, how it could impact you. And we're following Ryan Walters' resignation, what he sent out to parents as he leaves his office. And hear from students about the lack of affordable housing here in Norman. This is OU Nightly.
Tonight we're following the funding situation in Washington. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Julia Roberts.
And I'm Carla McCreary. The federal government will shut down at 12:01 a.m. tonight if Congress does not pass a funding bill. We have a full breakdown on how this could impact your day-to-day as well as how it could impact the nation. We start tonight live in Washington. Our partners at Gaylord News brings us the latest as we inch closer to the deadline. Gaylord News reporter Leah Smith is live on Capitol Hill. Thanks for joining us, Leah. Could you help us understand what a government shutdown is exactly and how might this one impact Oklahomans?
Yeah, so basically the government will shut down because fundings have not been approved for the 2026 fiscal year. So what's going to happen is all essential government employees will continue to work, but non-essential employees will be furloughed. This is going to cause the thousands of Oklahomans that are federal government employees to not get paid and struggle to pay their bills and support their families.
So Leah, what is the main cause of this possible government shutdown?
Yeah, so I want to make it very clear that neither side is hoping for a shutdown. However, with the 2026 fiscal year approaching, funding is in the talks. Basically what's happening is Democrats are asking for a portion of this funding, but Republicans do not want to approve it. If neither side can reach a conclusion by tonight at midnight, then unfortunately a shutdown will be implemented.
So how is the Oklahoma delegation reacting?
Yes, so Senator James Lankford has actually introduced the Prevent Government Shutdowns Act of 2025. This will cause shutdowns to be completely off of the table and cause Congress to stay in D.C. until both sides can reach a conclusion. Senator Lankford is very adamant about how a shutdown only negatively affects Americans, and it shifts the burden from lawmakers onto American citizens themselves.
All right, well, thank you, Leah. We'll continue to follow your reporting from Washington. OU Nightly has reached out to multiple government agencies who could be affected by the shutdown. The Will Rogers Airport says they're not expecting short-term impacts if the government shuts down, but if it is extended, they say it would lead to longer wait times at security. We also reached out to state women, infant, and children programs. The program does not believe that they would be impacted immediately if the government were to shut down. We reached out to Tinker Air Force Base, but have not heard back.
And we're following breaking news. The governor still waiting tonight for Superintendent Ryan Walters' resignation. OU Nightly's Abigail Hollandworth is live in our newsroom. Abby, what can you tell us?
Julia, State Superintendent Ryan Walters starts his new job tomorrow, but still hasn't handed in a resignation letter to Governor Kevin Stitt. Walters did send a letter to parents today outlining his successes while he was state superintendent. Last Wednesday, Walters announced he would be resigning and he will be the new CEO of the Teacher Freedom Alliance. Now the state superintendent position is in limbo because the governor can't replace Walters until he officially resigns. I reached out to the governor's office and they directed me to his X account, which does not say anything about Walters handing in his resignation. I also reached out to OSDE and did not receive a response. We will continue to follow this story as it develops. Live in the newsroom, Abby Hollandsworth, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Abby. It may be the last day of September, but we are still feeling those summer temperatures.
That's right. OU Nightly meteorologist Garrett Tarver joins us live from the South Oval, and it's actually his birthday today, so let's send it over to him. Garrett, how are you liking the conditions out there on your birthday?
Well, it's a little bit warmer than I'd like. Thank you all. I'm trying to cool off with my tea here, but the temperatures are sticking around in the mid to upper 80s, so pretty much above average. Now, there's a few clouds here and there that are bringing a little bit of relief and a light breeze every now and again, but let me tell you, I am sweating it up. I took off my jacket. You're not going to want one today. Looks like the next few days either. And well, Isaac is going to take a look at your forecast cheerleader. I'm going to enjoy this tea, but back to y'all in the AC. Carlin, Julia?
Thanks, Garrett. As the U.S. prepares for a potential government shutdown, the president is suggesting changes to military training grounds. OU Nightly's Michael Thompson has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
In Virginia, the president spoke with the top generals and admirals, suggesting using what he claims as unsafe cities as the next military training grounds.
San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. I told Pete we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military.
The president also suggested policies for people spitting on troops and throwing bricks at military and police cars. And a direct-to-consumer website allowing Americans to buy discounted drugs is what the president says he will be working on next. The drug company Pfizer is expected to sell their discounted drugs on Trump RX. This is the first company to agree to all of the demands that Trump laid out in his two pharmaceutical CEOs. In the central Philippines, at least 13 people are dead and many are injured after a 6.9 earthquake. The U.S. Geological Survey estimates nearly 500,000 people felt the earthquake, which hit 6 miles underwater, which triggered a tsunami warning that has since been lifted. Carlin, Julia.
Thanks, Michael. Students are sounding the alarm on what they call a housing crisis here in Norman. How many people the city expects to move here in the next 20 years and what they're doing to make sure they have a place to live.
They've already climbed mountains. What one local fraternity is doing now to raise money for kids with cancer when OU Nightly returns.
Bryn Mead is live in Gaylord with a look of how it's impacting students. Bryn?
Julia, students are telling me that they're seeing a common issue with housing here in Norman. Factors like price, quality, and availability are just not a part of the picture anymore.
OU students have their picture of home. Lily Teves, for one, knows exactly what she wants.
Just something with like a little porch in the front where I can like sit out.
But in Norman, the housing crisis is here now. And even with a new plan, affordability won't come quickly.
I've gotten a lot of crazed looks and opinions saying, I can't believe you're looking already, but you have to because leases go up so fast.
By 2045, Norman expects more than 23,000 more homes. City planners say AIM Norman is the roadmap for success.
So AIM is the city's long-range comprehensive land use plan. So it is the city's plan for growth and development over the next 20 years, so through 2045.
Developers like Richard say the crisis isn't just about adding units. There's a lot of steps the city has to take before increasing home supply.
So we have a lot of challenges. Like, we've got a plan, it's a great plan, but we've got to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars retrofitting the older parts of Norman, everything built before 1983.
Students say the price pressures are already squeezing budgets.
Here, just like somewhere, a good place to live is like no cheaper than like $700, which I feel like for college students, that's still relatively really expensive.
And even with a comprehensive plan, developers agree that nothing can happen without financial and community support.
If we do all of the things that we need to do for the AIM Norman plan, building the infrastructure, making it easier to build, etc., probably 5 to 6 years from now, you're going to see more availability of housing, but new housing won't be cheaper.
City officials say that they expect nearly 60,000 new residents to move to Norman in the next 20 years. In Gaylord, Bryn Mead, OU Nightly.
Developers say they encourage students and families to get involved in the real estate world as early as possible to take back control of their living situation.
A group of former OU fraternity brothers turned their friendships made right here on campus into a mission, making an impact on pediatric cancer. But it didn't end at the summit, as it has trickled right back to the root as Alpha Tau Omega is stepping up to support their cause. OU Nightly's Emma McAndrews has the story.
10 friends from OU's Alpha Tau Omega fraternity push themselves to new limits while doing it for a good cause. Miles to Miracles came to life when the group decided they wanted to raise money for families battling pediatric cancer.
Being with everybody and together at the top, pretty emotional just because it was pretty hard.
After 8 days on Africa's highest peak, the group not only reached the summit, but their $30,000 goal.
I think just on the surface level, you can be like, oh, this is very nice. We're going to be able to send this money to X amount of families. But really, you just can't even put your mind into their shoes about what it's going to mean to them and the types of things they're going to use it for, the types of things they're going to use it to relieve themselves of.
Now the mission is coming back home for the AT Open Pickleball Tournament, turning their climb into a movement.
Every student is welcome to this event. It is not about your skill level, it's just about having fun and supporting a good cause.
The tournament begins at 4 p.m. on Wednesday right here at the Timberdale Tennis Courts, and all the proceeds from the event are going to go back to Miles to Miracles. Reporting in Norman, I'm Emma McAndrews, OU Nightly.
Well, thanks, Emma. Coming up next, helping a flying insect that is on the decline.
What a local organization is doing to raise awareness and protect a disappearing species.
And make sure to stay with us. We're going to talk about those warmer temperatures sticking around for the next several days, as well as your game day this weekend. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday. We're going to start here looking over from the Weather Center, pointing towards the softball field here. A beautiful day. Garrett Tarver talked to you earlier about how beautiful it is outside. A little warm on the warmer side for fall here. You can actually see Devon Tower here in the distance, but a lot of sun here across the area, and with temperatures in those mid-80s, with that dew point pretty far down in those 50s, so not even humid out there, mostly just that warmer temperature, a little warmer than we're really used to here, and that's kind of going to be sticking around. Looking across the entire state, mid-80s, and I'm going to blow your minds here. Let's zoom out. A lot of the same here, 80s up there, even up towards Guyman, down towards Armour, the exact same. So across the entire state, we rarely see it being the exact same across the entire state. That's what we're seeing here today, and we're going to see more of that stick around the next several days, starting out there in those mid-80s, a lot of 88 through there the next few days, and then moving up into those maybe those 90s here by next early week. If we don't get a cool front before then, I know a lot of you are hoping for that. We'll see what happens here over the next few days. And we're going to talk why that is right now. We're going to be missing every cold front across the nation. We're going to watch this move by here. Up here, we'll see we'll move through the north here and then move out to the east. Again, that's going to be missing us here. We're going to see a lot of warmth just stick around, a lot of dry air too, so it should not be humid, just a little warmer here across the state. The next 6 to 10 days above average. So not normal here for the beginning of October. But here we are yet again, and more warmth here, and all that dryness too. It's really been picking up those allergies here. We got weed allergies in the highs, mold in the high as well. So if you feel a little sniffly, that's probably why. I know I was sniffly a couple weeks ago when it was really bad, but here we are now looking at it today. Now, this weekend we take on Kent State at home, hoping to get a win here in Norman. And at kickoff, we're going to see temperatures hanging out right around those 90s, so plenty warm. Make sure you have sunscreen on too. We might expect the UV to be pretty high there, but temperatures staying pretty consistent in those mid-80s. Also want to be careful too, there's going to be pretty consistent wind breeze around that 15-mile-an-hour mark. So it's going to be plenty windy. If you're going out tonight, I want to warn you too, it's going to be nice and beautiful. So that's my warning to you. It's going to be nice outside with a nice little breeze. So if you're going outside, make sure you take advantage of it while you can. And over the next 7 days, look at that. A lot of the same, plenty of sun, plenty of sunny skies. So enjoy that warmth while we can, because here pretty soon, I know it's going to be getting down and downright cold here, as it typically does here in Oklahoma. So I don't know about you guys. I really enjoy the warmth. I don't know about you guys.
I do too. I'm the same way.
I'm not ready for it to get cold. I love keeping my short sleeve shirts and shorts out.
Completely.
So definitely.
And tomorrow's National Pumpkin Spice Day, right?
Yes.
So we're going to have temperatures in the 80s.
Pumpkin spice and 80s doesn't really go together though, but it's going to be that for sure. So.
All right, thank you so much, Isaac. Monarch butterflies make their way to Mexico through Oklahoma from late August to October. Since 2019, the Division of Environmental Resilience and Sustainability puts on an event called Monarchs in the Park, with vendors helping out. This event helps raise awareness for the monarch butterflies while also teaching families about native plants and other pollinators. The event also taught people why pollinators and their habitats are declining.
Increased use of pesticides are harming our pollinator friends, as well as increased use of herbicides. That's getting rid of their habitats. And then, of course, development, getting rid of the habitat again. And then, of course, climate change is impacting the plant behavior as well as the animal behavior.
Coming up in sports, with quarterback John Mateer out this week against Kent State, a familiar face is back leading the Sooners offense.
Hear from the replacement and how he's doing before starting again.
That's right. A significant part of OU's offense could be on the move. Find out what he has to say about leaving Norman coming up next in sports. Hello, I'm Landon Thomas, and it's time for sports. With OU quarterback John Mateer sidelined for the foreseeable future, Sooner head football coach Brent Venables named sophomore Michael Hawkins Jr. the starter against Kent State. Hawkins started in 4 games last year for OU and went 1-3, but the situation is much different from last year as the offense averages nearly 100 more yards per game compared to last year. So with the help of a transformed and healthy offense, Hawkins knows that this time he's in a much better position.
I feel like I took a big step. And I feel like a big part of that is because of the people around me, like I said, Coach Coos and Coach Arbuckle, and just the support staff. And it's just been a great environment I've been in. The vibe in the room is more upbeat and kind of just happy, and just having those guys like healthy, it really helps. Just like your mindset and just how you are going on the field, and just the connection with those guys really helps you.
New offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle has been a big help for this year's offense. Multiple reports have connected Arbuckle to head coach openings that are available, such as UCLA and Oklahoma State, but he made it clear to the media today where his priorities are at.
I mean, I'm flattered that someone would say that about me, but that none of that stuff registers in my head at all. I mean, I have a responsibility to this university and to these kids, so I haven't even thought about if I would be ready to be a head coach, or I'm not seeking anything either.
The Jason Witten Collegiate Man of the Year Award was announced today, and that senior OU wide receiver Deion Burks was a nominee. The award is for both on and off the field activity and is given to a player who demonstrates a record of leadership by exhibiting exceptional courage, integrity, and sportsmanship both on and off the field. And former Sooner and current Denver Broncos wide receiver Marvin Mims Jr. had himself a game last night against the Cincinnati Bengals. Mims took this jet sweep for 16 yards into the end zone for a touchdown. He also finished with 6 catches for 69 yards and 1 touchdown in the 28-3 win. Former Sooner quarterback Dylan Gabriel is expected to make his first NFL start for the Cleveland Browns this Sunday versus the Vikings, according to CBS Sports. This will also be the first time a quarterback makes his NFL debut outside of the United States. Carlin, Julia.
Thanks, Landon. Researchers have identified a new bird not too far from here in Oklahoma.
Find out how this discovery has made history coming up.
I'm McKinley Potter at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The state superintendent has officially handed in his resignation letter to the governor. Now the governor has the power to appoint a new superintendent. They will serve the state until January of 2027. In Ryan Walters' resignation letter, he says, "I will continue to seek ways to advance the principles of freedom, accountability, and excellence in the days ahead." Walters is going to the Teacher Freedom Alliance as the CEO. Julia, Carlin.
Thanks, McKinley. Biologists in Texas say they finally identified a rare bird that was spotted in 2023 near San Antonio.
Meet the grue jay, the first known wild hybrid between a blue jay and a green jay. Researchers believe the hybrid is a result of their habitats overlapping due to climate change.
The bird carries traits from both species, and the only other hybrid of its kind was found in the 1960s. This bird honestly reminds me of the one from Rio, you know that movie?
Oh, I love that movie. Speaking of Rio, how are the birds feeling about this weather?
I'm sure they love the warm weather right now. They're not flying south, maybe just yet, but it's green jay and blue jay. I think we're going to get blue skies. So we hear plenty of blue skies and warm temperatures here the next several days. So, and again, we're looking at those 80s right now here in Norman. So plenty of nice weather.
For sure.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Julia Roberts.
And I'm Carla McCreary. Be sure to tune in to OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.